Now you're welcome along. Stellar show this evening, if I do say so. So Eric Donovan won an EU title at the weekend. It was an amazing fight. He's put so much into it over the past 10, 20 years. A war of attrition. He's going to join us 7:30 to reflect on all that. Matt Williams will be along for Wednesday night rugby. Kenny Cunningham will be on the football show. Not just that, Kenny Cunningham also on the Newsround. It's a double helping of Kenny Cunningham.
Double scoop. Who doesn't like a double scoop?
Especially when it's Kenny Cunningham. 53106 text number. We're at Off the Ball on Twitter. Just one scoop of Richie McCormack. Hello.
That's more than enough for anybody, Joe.
Oh my God, what am I looking at here, Joe? What am I looking at here with Richie? Step toe, innit? Thing is, I actually like Step Toe. I actually like Step Toe.
Of course you do.
Was a character.
You love anthem that would be like 60s, 70s BBC sitcom anthem.
Step Toe and Sons up there. We always end up with the old classic comedies, don't we? Somehow it always seems to end up. It was Phoenix Nights the last time I was in here. We strayed on, wasn't it, Rich?
This is all going to go over. This is all going to go over Joe's head, Kenny. You say Step Toe and Son to him,
Phoenix Nights I'm all over, but Step Toe.
Step Toe and Son. No. Rich, back me up on this one.
Step Toe, classic Joe.
Amazing.
Wilfred Brimley.
What vintage is that?
Would have started in the 60s, Ken, wouldn't it?
Oh, black and white. Yeah, it's black and white.
Yeah, black and white starter. Yeah.
No.
Then went into the 70s.
Joe,
It's like it's a staple, Joe.
You haven't lived.
Now, has it aged well?
Richie's younger than you. He knows it. Why don't just expand your horizons a bit?
What age are you, Rich?
Thanks, Kenny, but Joe's actually younger than me, would you believe?
Is that right?
What age are you, Rich?
He just acts like an old man. He talks
40.
like an old man, doesn't he?
Are you 40?
Yeah.
What about you?
Hanging on to 37.
37. Jesus, 37.
What are you?
You give that impression of an old boy. You
always though.
You're old before your time, aren't you?
Born old.
Where'd you go on holiday?
Well, hang
on. Were you visiting museums and art galleries and all that type of thing when you should have been on the lash in Ibiza?
No, I was dragged to Ibiza. Although it's fondly remembered in my group.
Opera. You brought it to the opera, didn't you, Mrs.?
When we went to Iron Napa, I did go over to the pool bar and ask him could he turn the music down a bit. It's just a bit loud.
Oh dear. Fail for your missus.
Well, look, I'm sorry I wasn't a party animal like you, Kenny. What age are you? Are you 50?
I just went with the crowd, Joe. I was a team player.
Why are you dodging your age question? What age are you?
I'm 51. I'm the elder statesman. Whew. Elder statesman in the room.
Does it feel surreal to be?
I don't get any respect for it, though. I know, so I don't get any respect for it, Rich.
Do you feel surreal to be in your 50s? Can you believe it?
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in my 80s.
I don't. It doesn't now. It doesn't. I don't linger. You know what I mean, Richard? I don't linger on it. It's pointless. It's a bit like you lingering on what you look like on the screen tonight with that ridiculous hat on. I bet
you're the one lingering on it, Kenny.
No, I'm just saying. I actually think it looks well. You've even gone a luminous green. You haven't gone with a traditional safe colour. You might as well put Christmas lights on your head as well.
It's the light shining on it, Kenny's doing me no favours.
Oh dear.
Anyway, well played, Rich.
What have you been up to today, aside from being in here? Anything interesting?
I tell you what I did. I sampled my first Dash burger in Dublin today.
Oh,
Does that mean anything to anybody in the room?
It's Dash, the name of the
restaurant.
Where's
this now?
Dash. So I'd be a big fan of Bunsen's, who I mentioned to you before.
Oh, top notch.
The reason I probably mentioned it here was the chance maybe somebody had ordered one in for me one evening when I was here and hadn't eaten for 6 hours, but that never happened. So I went to the Bunsen restaurant myself in town. Very nice. Value for money, the best burger in town. That's a given.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed, Rich, yeah?
Agreed, 100%.
So I heard a whisper from somebody, listen, you got to check out Dash in Dublin. They're going down a totally different road to Bunsen, but I couldn't find it. It was located at the bottom of Camden Street. But I bumped into saw one in Capel Street a few weeks ago, walking down there. Hadn't been around that.
Right.
Someone said, go down Capel Street, nice little buzz down there, and it was. Hadn't been there for a long time. Yeah. Pedestrianised, in a nice restaurant, very good indeed. And you're right, there was a Dash there, but I wasn't ready for it. I had to prepare myself. I wasn't ready. So today I was in town. I was hungry. I thought I'm going to have a couple of hours with Joe this evening. I need some food in my belly, otherwise I'll be getting 100%. Nauseous, the whole thing, like, you know what I mean, listening to him for. So I said, well, I'm going to find this Dash place at the end of Camden, Wexford Street, somewhere there. Anyway, found it. Long story short, went in there, ordered me Dash burger.
Is it a long story short?
Woof, Rich. Get on it. Get on it. Yeah, what they've done is you're do you want me to elongate this? I'll cut it short as I can. So you're guaranteed 2 burgers in the bun. Guaranteed. Not a double burger. You're guaranteed 2 in your basic hamburger. A little bit thinner, obviously. They put on the hot plate, cook it quick, get it nice and crispy, get all the crispy bits, scrape them up, smash it all on top into the bun. Bob's your uncle.
You give out to us for making montages of you talking about food, but honestly, you're asking for it.
Extra euro. The only thing is euro on top of Bunsen's. You have to factor that in, Rich. And I know you're one for looking after the penny, so
penny pinches.
Just factor that one in. Factor that one in.
Richie, you can sort the montage of Kenny talking about burgers there, please, for tomorrow.
You know I will.
That would be very nicely. So that was the peak of
I'll let you use it tomorrow only, as long as it doesn't repeat itself the year after and the year after. I'm not driving my car around Dublin in 2027 and I'm listening to the same interview.
I know. What's the really good one? Can we dig it out there? Well, we can. No, because you won't let us play it anymore.
Agreement. Now this was the agreement. I'll never work for you again if you play that. If you play that segment again.
Have we got them, Arthur? You know,
Arthur knows. Arthur knows.
The one where he's talking about batch loaf.
I've got a written agreement. I've gotten a written agreement. It's not. I wasn't even. What? Wasn't even that funny the first time you played it.
You're lucky. There's been some system change from a technical point of view.
I was given a guarantee by Arthur that it was getting dumped. It's in the archive. It was in the archives that long ago.
Yeah, we must take that out again. Well, can we make an amendment to the deal? If you're in studio with us, we get to play it to you. But we won't play it in your absence, so at least you know how often it's being played.
With my agreement.
Yes, correct. Because I think you didn't like it when you listened to the radio one day randomly and you heard
I didn't like it. Didn't particularly like it the first time I heard it, let alone the 20th. All my friends phoned me up saying you can get that segment taken off the radio. It's embarrassing.
Unbecoming of a former Republic of Ireland captain.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the highlight of your day, burger? That's not bad.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, slow day today, Joe. Slow day. Nearly cracked me crossword. Too short I was.
Do you do a crossword routinely?
I do the crosswords every day if I can.
Which version?
Bit of stimulation. Can't be. Got into that football speak all day every day. It's not good. It's not good for the soul. You need to expand and need to trigger the brain. I think a little bit more.
Pivotal that you do that.
50 plus. Getting back to the 50 plus.
That pivotal joke.
You'll get there.
So.
So you have the chance of stimulating conversation with Rich every day in work. I don't, haven't got those.
A wordsmith like Richie McCormack.
Exactly.
Let me see here. Love it when Kenny is on. Can you ask him something I'm dying to know? Oh no, I better not read that. You replay my batch interview all the time, but you won't read that question now. You won't embarrass him, but you'll embarrass me. You'll be glad. I'll read that to you off air. You'll be glad.
Take a chance. This is what I'm talking about with Joe, Rich.
Okay.
He's 10 years above. He's safe. Plays everything safe.
You heard that, did you?
I guarantee if Rich was in studio, that email would have been read out.
Am
I right, Rich? Fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fact.
Yeah.
I'm blameless, though. I love it when Kenny's on. Can you ask him something I'm dying to know? When he sees Tony Cruz dominate European football as a central midfielder, does he ever think of Eamon Dunphy informing Kenny that Cruz wasn't a midfielder? He plays in the hole. Kenny had suggested Man United buy him when Moyes was manager. Anonymous.
Sorry, what was the point there? That kind of went over me.
I don't know. I think it's trying to... Do you ever remember Eamon Dunphy disagreeing with you about Tony Cruz?
No.
I didn't think it was worth reading.
Although what I will say is just on the Eamon Dunphy thing, I've stumbled upon the last maybe year or so, Rich, you probably have as well, the big match. Sorry, Joe, I should have brought you, dropped your name in as well.
ITV4,
big match replays.
ITV4. Yeah, genius.
Joe,
I thought you were going to say you'd.
I knew I shouldn't have brought you into it. You haven't. You thought you were going to say about.
You'd stumbled across you and Dunphy having a row on YouTube.
The old games from the 70s age. Do you remember I'd forgotten all about them. Amazing looking back. Talk about nostalgia. But one of the first games I saw was kind of Charlton and I think it was Peterborough. And funny enough, Eamon Dunphy was playing in that particular game. They showed extended highlights of the game, and that generation of player, very rarely, I never was, by reputation only, you know them. Even Johnny, to be fair, Johnny does. Like, it's just those little snippets, segments that you see. So always interesting to see a little bit of live footage of those players play. But that big match, talk about, the game has changed, Sky, the whole shebang, technology, VAR and everything. But talking about stripping it back, Rich, and and just presenting it, you know what I mean? It's basic form, you know what I mean? Showing the game, coming back into studio and delivery in studio. I mean, it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? But I'd have to admit, I actually did enjoy it. You could pick it apart. You could pick it apart a little bit. I'm sure you could. You're obviously more experienced than me in terms of broadcast. Maybe you could pick it apart a little bit. But generally speaking, it's just actually refreshing to go back
And did they have a bunch of pundits arguing about the game?
Dennis Law was one of the lads. And they'd interview the managers like Brian Clough. One after that was being interviewed, and loved it.
Yeah. One of the strongest points about the big match was very frequently they would have somebody who was involved. I can't remember if it was shown the next day. I think it was shown like the next morning or maybe that evening. I don't think it was a match of the day situation, so it would have been shown on a Sunday maybe. But they'd have somebody in studio who was involved in one of the matches that they just shown. Now, you wouldn't necessarily get the greatest of interview out of them. I remember watching a couple of really stilted ones, but it's like that level of access is just completely unimaginable in the modern day, whereby you couldn't imagine, I don't know, Kevin De Bruyne rocking up on the couch on a Sunday morning with Cammy and Ben Shepherd, for instance, and discussing his performance the night before in depth. Really
you're right. It can come across a little bit ultra cricket, maybe a little bit wouldn't, but it was all new lads at that generation in front of a camera. It wouldn't be particularly at their ears, but still very open in terms of what they were saying and not putting on a show or not thinking, how I present myself here. Where we're used to in the how things are packaged and presented. Forget about all of that. Just kind of pretty raw. Great. Get on it, Joe.
Text in from Jay. Hi Kenny and off the ball team. Do you see what we're reduced to here, Richie? Unbelievable. Hi Kenny and off the ball team. I also really enjoy doing crosswords. Regards, Jay. Now you think I'm boring. This lad went to the trouble of texting that in.
It's frustrating though, I must admit. You do have your frustrating moments with it. You have to let it, put it down, come back to it, the whole shebang.
Which clues do you go for? The simplex or the crosshair? Is that how you pronounce that word?
Simplex.
Isn't that right, Rich?
Yeah, that's some jargon there you're coming at me with. Bloody crossword. Not the cryptic, obviously.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, forget about that. Whoosh.
That's what I was asking you.
No chance. Oh, cryptic, no. Just your basic...
standard.
Yeah, standard, like...
Two-veg.
Yeah, man of the people. Yeah, crossword.
So what was the one you couldn't get today?
Oh, still in my bag. I haven't finished it.
Grab it there in a
minute. No, I'll...
Go on.
No, I don't want
put it
help.
to the listeners.
No, don't want it. You've been all... Bloody hell. Have you got a degree? If you got a degree, I'll take it out.
In English.
Have you got in English?
In English.
In English.
In English.
Which institution was it?
NUI Maynooth.
One of the big ones.
Yeah. One of the biggies. Yeah.
Is that considered one of the big ones? Maynooth? Is that? I was thinking UCD and Trinity. UCD. Did you apply for Trinity, Joe?
No.
Were you short? You were when you?
No, I was fine. It's comfortable. Oodles of points to spare.
Did you have a night out in college? You didn't even. There's no stories about you. Nothing. Is there anything out there on Joe when he was anything at all?
No. Squeaky clean.
So squeaky clean. It's ridiculous. Yeah. They're the ones you have to worry about. There's always a skeleton. There's always a skeleton there, Rich.
But you're squeaky clean.
Well,
that's what you think, Joe.
Depends on the parameters. Where are we putting the parameters? I'd like to think generally speaking, but.
Get your crossword there.
Depends where your moral compass is.
Go on, grab your bag and we'll start the news round.
Linger on the point.
We'll start the news round. Grab your bag, get the crossword out.
After, I'll give you one.
No, we're doing the listeners.
No, I've got to get my glasses. It's too much of a commotion. It's too much of a commotion.
We'll put this out to the listeners. Just walk over and get your bag when Richie's doing a story.
Right,
Come on, he's doing it. Okay, good. There's a text from Kieran Boyle. Lads, I'm sitting through a hurricane here in Florida. Kenny's making me laugh in the midst of all this destruction. Jeez, Kieran. Stay safe. So, Richie, let's... I think you need to be realistic here with this news round, Richie. There's a chance you might only get to do one or two stories, so choose wisely.
Figure that.
It is, as ever, with thanks to Gillette Labs for an effortless finish to your day.
Yeah, we'll start with last night. Stephen Kenny says his side will learn from their second half performance against Armenia. The Republic of Ireland were 2-0 up and cruising at the Aviva, but conceded from two long-range strikes in the space of 2 second half minutes. Ireland needed a VAR awarded penalty converted by Robbie Brady to salvage all 3 points and secure that place in League B of the Nations League. And Kenny was asked to explain Ireland's capitulation last night.
No, it doesn't worry me at all. I think today we were 2-0 up and we went chasing the third goal when we didn't need them. We had centre halves overlapping and we were 2-0 up in a game that we needed to win. So we lost our we had a bit of structure really. You must maintain your structure of your back three and some protection for that as well. When you're winning 2-0, we weren't losing 2-0, we were winning 2-0. So we just went chasing the third goal and we got punished. And we won. We came back and got the goal, got the winner. So overall, it's a really good performance with just a few minutes of madness, and we've spoken about it in the dressing room, and that's something that we can learn from now. In relation to taking responsibility for that not to happen, or not to be exposed like that when you're winning.
We're going to talk quite a lot about this game between 9 and 10, Kenny, but give us your headline take on last night.
You want a headline? Maybe can do better, I suppose, putting in very simplistic terms. A lot of talk about, it's all about results these days. It's all about results, not performance, etc., etc. But for me, I've always felt one leads to the other. Your performance levels are good, and generally the result takes care of themselves. So, I was a little bit disappointed in terms of first half performance, in terms of the amount of possession that we had, how little we kind of troubled the opposition goalkeeper. That'd be a small area of concern. We got the goal obviously straight from a set piece, but not too many chances created from open play. That was a little bit underwhelming. Had plenty of possession of the ball, but obviously the Armenians dropped off low defensive block and really let us have the ball and say, well, can you break us down, and maybe we look to hit you on the counter attack, which they actually didn't look capable of for the majority of that first half either. So I was actually a little bit disappointed, a little bit flat, funny enough, after the first half. Second half, that was a little bit better. Some decent little periods, like Robbie Brady and Jason Knight down the left hand side, I thought combined quite well. Second goal was a brilliant goal. Obafemi had been a little bit loose in terms of his first touch all night, but on that occasion he got it absolutely right. And it was interesting. First half I was thinking, get the ball into our centre forwards quick. Can we get it in early, punch it into their feet? Well, that was a good example. The ball got knocked out to the halfway line, and Darragh O'Shea just went, popped it 30 yards, daisy cut straight into the feet of Obafemi. His second touch was a very clever touch, to shift onto his right hand foot, and it was a really good finish. And we're in a good place there without really, the floodgates opening up type thing. And then obviously the game just got away from us. It's very easy to say, mad couple of minutes, let's forget about it. But of course you have to analyse what happened. And we just got a little bit open on the first goal. Just our midfield three got a little bit kind of separated. Jeff got a little bit isolated in there. Just got himself kind of wrong side, and Nathan had the decision to make stepped out. And it's that kind of domino effect which you see when obviously you're playing the game. You experience a lot, particularly as a defender. I wouldn't hang anybody out on it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't hang out Alan Brown being in an advanced position, because that's where you want him to be. Conor Horahan make himself available to put a cross into the box from an inside left channel. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Jeff had himself in a reasonably good defensive position, holding central midfield position. But when the ball was thrown out quickly, just got himself a little bit caught in between two Armenian players. They get the other side of him, and then an opportunity presents itself. And give them credit, they took advantage of it. Second goal doesn't need any talking about, just an individual error. And then, and then after that was like everybody's head was spinning inside the stadium, wasn't it? It did look as if we might even lose it. They had a chance edge of the box, didn't they? A skimmer of it just past the post, and you're thinking, and even that's challenging. Even then, I'm interested in looking at the players, because I've been there myself in those situations, comfortable, and you're like heads all over the place. Like people are disappointed, they're fuming, they're angry, but you have to kind of collect yourself very quickly, remain calm, and clear your head almost in terms of 10 minutes left. Let's get back past and get it in the right areas. We can still go and win the game, and I thought we did that to an extent. Got a bit of, people might say a bit desperate, but even still got a bit of sustained pressure on their goal, forced the corner, which eventually led to the penalty kick. So result that we wanted, but performance-wise, for me, no, it wasn't perfect. Of course, it wasn't. Do we need to improve and get better in certain areas of our game? Yeah, absolutely. And that's the challenge before the games next March.
We'll pick it apart in more depth between 9 and 10. So you've got the crossword, which is exciting. Now, in a moment, we'll get the listeners' help on the answers that you haven't been able to crack yourself.
It's a bit embarrassing.
No.
There's a couple of hard ones I don't mind, Trump. There's a couple of easy ones I know I should get.
Oh.
If I give you the easy ones,
don't be hard
people
on
are going to think I'm an idiot. They won't be far off. But
can I get you to do something first, though?
I'll give you one. If you get it,
no, listen.
Then I know I'm an idiot.
Just hang on a second.
Go ahead.
I want you.
What's your IQ? Have you ever had your IQ? Rich, you have a reasonably high IQ.
140, 150, I think. Come here.
No idea.
No idea.
Kenny.
But that tells me he's got an IQ. He hasn't gone searching. He knows he's smart. He doesn't have to prove
Can I
it.
just ask you a question?
What did you say? 140. Is that high? Is 140 high, Rich?
140 pretty high, yeah.
Come here. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
You only got into minutes. He didn't even get points for 140. The arse. No way you're 140 IQ. Go on.
Woo, right.
Come on, Joe. We're going off air in 5 minutes.
Right, I know there's one there that you got, and you're quite proud of yourself that you got it.
No,
so
not
just
really.
let me finish.
No,
I want
never
you
said
to
that.
give us the clue and see if me and Richie can get it. One that you got already. Give us a clue that'll test me and Richie and see if we can match you.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Now I wouldn't be bad on, I suppose, geography. No, the basic
Just
geography.
get on with it, Kenny, will you?
All right. I'll give you one. Body of water off the northeast coast of Australia. 5-3. Best of luck.
Well, the 3 is C.
Yeah.
What's the 5, Rich? Off the north what of Australia?
That's a 143 IQ for you. 3 letters C. Northeast
Tasman.
coast.
No, it's
Oh,
Jesus.
Tasman.
Just-
Yay! That'd be
Good Lord.
South. That'd be South Australia.
Was it 5 and 3? Is it?
5 and 3. C, obviously. Something C.
The northeast coast, so you're heading up towards Asian, Malaysia. I'm telling you these because it's actually
Indian.
It's no
that's
clue
Indian Ocean.
whatsoever. Indian Ocean.
Go on,
Your
give it to us.
IQ's gone down by the
General knowledge
second.
isn't reflected. in
Coral
the
Sea.
queue.
No.
You were not going to
Coral.
Ah, come on.
There
Okay,
you go.
go.
And you got that?
get it. Yeah.
Right,
Like
go
I
on.
said, it's just one of them.
Give us another one that you got then that you're happy with.
I'll be happy with. I'll tell you what. I'll give you these. Right, here's an easy one for you. Like just to get his serious setback. So between the two years, right? You're on the buzzers, you two, right? A serious setback. 4-4. Serious setback. 4 and 4. Oh yeah, it's a. Oh, that was a real. What would you say? A hammer. What? Just to give you a hint, trying to help you out here. You got a blow. Like where does a boxer take a blow? Oh.
Body blow.
Hey, well done, Rich.
Nice, Richie.
Well done, Rich. Thank God you got that. Not a chance. Joe be here till 12 o'clock tonight. You wouldn't have got that.
Give us one that you can't
Joe,
get then.
tell you what, Joe. I'm going to give you a pen. Do you know those puzzles they give you where there's a word and you have to put the letters? You have to find the letters.
Kenny, we're
word
still on the
search.
radio
They're
here.
almost in a-
We got to have some.
They're almost in
decorum.
a going up and down
Yeah,
or
yeah.
sideways. You know, you actually put a circle around you find the word.
Word
Oh,
search,
yeah.
Kenny, yeah.
We'll start Joe off with that.
It's not going to work
We'll
on the
build you
radio.
up.
Come here. Give us one that you can't get. The listeners might weigh in. What one are you stuck on?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one. I'd probably be an easy one. The English name for the star sign Sagittarius, begins with A. Should get that.
How many letters?
6 begins with A.
So it's the.
Something English name for the star sign Sagittarius.
I'm not into that stuff.
Yeah, that's killing me.
Right, give us another one. Someone will
Tell you
text
what,
in.
I'll give you an easy one that I know I should get, but I can't get it. Financial resources that an organisation has available to spend. 7 letters. You would straight away you think, bang. And
When you hear it, you'll know it.
5-10 minutes, I still haven't been able to get it.
How many
Capital.
How many letters?
7 financial resources that an organisation has available to spend.
Is it capital?
No, you know, budget. I can't get it.
Reserve?
No, or second last letter or. Anyway, this is killing. This is dead time on the radio.
What you
Let's
say,
do it.
Arthur? I can't hear you. I can't even hear what Arthur's saying. Did you get the answer?
Top class
I
radio.
can't work out if Arthur's giving the answer or saying, like, wrap this up.
He's mouthing it. Oh, yeah.
There's a fair chance it's
Wrap this up. It's
up.
not 3 words either, Arthur. It's not 3 words. Wrap this up.
53106.
7 letters, 1 word.
Right, Richie.
That's where I am.
Next story.
Jeez, you weren't kidding. Jim Crawford described the Ireland under-21s penalty shootout defeat to Israel in their Euro playoff as a punch in the stomach. Tyreek Wright, Evan Ferguson and Dawson Devoy all had penalties saved as Ireland lost the shootout 3-1 to miss out on an historic place in next summer's European Championships. Despite the loss, Crawford says the future does look bright for the squad in the short to medium term.
Never doubt the listeners. Archer. That's your Sagittarius one.
Ah.
A-R-C-H-E-R.
Jesus, that me one underneath's wrong. Or accomplice, yeah.
Carnage ensues.
A person who helps another to commit a crime. I put down accessory. It's accomplice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's accomplice. Yeah.
An accessory mightn't have helped
There you
necessarily.
go. Yeah. Subtle, like it, Joe.
Archer. See, the listeners are give the listeners one more.
Beauty.
Come on,
It's the
five.
beauty of these things.
Give us
It's
one
the
more. You
beauty-
can't.
No,
One more you can't get.
We've gone on too long. We've lost half our listeners the last 10 minutes.
Somebody's tweeted in. Paul Little. Worked with Kenny a few times on RT's Premier League show way back when as a sub-editor. Thankfully, he didn't have a crossword then, but he used to torment me mid-match with football trivia questions. And then he has quotations. Paul, name 4 players with 4 letters in their name who won ... etc. Well, that sounds like a hoot.
I don't remember that. I'll have to take him out. I'll have to take him at his word.
Paul remembers. He's PTSD over
Is
it.
that right? That paints me as a pretty sad individual.
I mean, I know you're.
We won't want to do
Made
that.
that up.
We won't want to do
You
that.
just made that up, Joe. Just
Oh,
because
it's
I've
on
been coming
Twitter.
at you. Because I've been coming at you the last 15 minutes.
You came at
made that
me,
one up.
but I mean, you know.
You definitely want to say it yourself, but you've invented this person on there.
No,
by
he's right
email.
there. We hate what we are, Kenny.
Used him to channel your grievances towards me.
Richie, very last story.
God, the Wexford County Boards to propose that a special congress of the GA abolish the 96-week maximum ban for physical or verbal threats to referees. They're proposing a lifetime ban instead as a penalty, which may be considered. Wexford are also suggesting an overhaul of the Give Respect, Get Respect campaign to ensure a comprehensive education programme for mentors, players and supporters. That follows a number of incidents, of course, in recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect that might pass given the current climate and there have been so many incidents, so we'll watch that space. Eamon on Twitter guessed equity on the financial resources point.
That's
but
good.
Equity.
He's short a letter.
Short, yeah.
Only 6 letters, Eamon.
Jesus,
We need 7.
it's basic arithmetic there, isn't it?
Do you know what, right?
Ironically.
Jesus.
The disgraced Radio 1 DJ, Davey Travis, used to have a feature called Snooker on the radio. I think we can bring crosswords on the radio to the masses
not
here.
sure,
And
Rich. Not sure. I think we've.
Kenny, this is working a treat.
I think we're at saturation point here with it. to be
Joe,
honest
show him
with
the
you.
texts.
I'm not messing. I do think there is something very soothing about this and us trying to do a crossword together with listeners' help.
Yeah,
There'd be
it
something
hasn't
in that.
worked. The collective really hasn't helped, though. You know,
We got Archer.
You would think it would, wouldn't you?
We got Archer. You've only asked.
You called it out. The listener got Archer. You did.
I'm
you
saying
didn't.
we. The listeners
We
are part
as
of
a
this.
unit.
Oh,
Yeah.
we is a unit.
Yeah, it's an
I'm talking
interactive
about us inside the studio here. We're grating off each other. Really, we should be coming.
together.
Yeah, we're kind of
You keep
grating,
saying
aren't we?
mean things about me. Well, Richie got a good
You
one.
never struck me as a team player, anyway, Joe. I've got to be. I
What,
don't want
uh,
to keep on like on your back, like, but you don't really strike me as a team player.
Why am I
You're at
indulging
home.
this?
You're a loner. You are a loner, right? That's not a criticism. That's not a criticism.
It feels like one.
You are. Will you? Are you a loner? But by nature, you're a bit of a loner.
Be more introverted if that's what you're asking.
Introverted. Oh, we're going a bit deep now, aren't we? We're getting miserable, like you're a bit miserable. Basically, like Rich, you with me on that? I think Arthur's nodding his head as well in the control, or maybe he's nodding.
Arthur
his head
didn't
as well.
move.
Move on. He knew. He
God.
knew. I saw it.
We're pretty much out of time. So it's been a car crash.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny,
Let's not do it again.
thank you very much for coming in. Kenny's back with us between 9 and 10 where we're going to get stuck into the football. Richie, I'm sorry to have wasted 90% of your news round.
Listen, look, nothing's a waste, Joe. Something has been learned, so don't worry about
Well,
that.
indeed. So that's us done. We've got Eric Donovan on the way. Cash Machine.